So we have this one. This one and this one. Why does this Wolverine dude look like Cozy Air? Friends, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, hi, my name is Kim. I am an author illustrator, and here on my channel I love to create content about books, about writing projects I'm working on, and just about living a cozy and intentional life. Today, friends, I have quite the low energy. I am feeling very fatigued, very tired. I have been staying up pretty late the last couple of days because I am working on reopening my art shop, and so I've been creating a whole bunch of stickers and just art prints in general, and I have been staying up pretty late to try and make it to my deadline. So I feel like all of that work and staying up pretty late has been catching up to me. So today I figured that I would have a sort of self-care, low energy, low stakes kind of day, just so I can regain some energy, refuel my creative system. So I'm going to be doing just things that don't require a lot of energy. That is what I'm craving today. I am craving very low energy things that are not complicated, things that are not hard to do. I need one of those days today. I feel like it could be so easy to get wrapped up in the holiday season. October is a big month for me. I love doing all things outdoors in October, and if I'm not doing those things, going to the pumpkin patches, going to the fall markets, just being outdoors and doing all the things, I feel like sometimes if I'm not doing those things I get FOMO. But I have to remind myself that I can also create a very autumnal and fall vibe here in my house, and considering that I have very low energy today, I really just need to rest. But that doesn't mean I can't create a spooky and autumnal vibe here in my home. So for me, having a low energy, low stakes kind of day, I love to still read, but not just any books, friends. I like to read graphic books whenever I am having those days where I just don't want to try too hard. Graphic books are always my go-to because you have very minimal text and you have images, illustrations that portray the story. So I always run to graphic books when I just want something easy to read. So I am gonna go through my autumnal spooky TBR, and I think I have like 3 graphic books in there. I'm gonna try and read all 3 today. I feel like I could do it because usually graphic novels are a little bit shorter. So I suppose this can also be like a graphic novel reading vlog, a low energy graphic novel reading vlog, by the way. I figured that I would also do some low energy crafts. I recently uploaded this spooky tea light haunted house over to my patrons that they can download, color in, and create a little 3D dimensional haunted house out of just paper. So I think I'm gonna do that for myself. I think I'm gonna print it out, color it in, and put it together. I do want to go to Target because I do need to pick up some stuff, but also I want some seasonal spooky snacks that I can munch on a little bit later on. And I recently picked up this autumnal harvest soup from Trader Joe's that I want to try later on today. So we have that. We have some comforting foods. We have some spooky graphic novels for today. We have some cozy low energy crafts. And that's what today's gonna be all about, friends. It's just gonna be a cozy hangout, doing all kinds of low energy, still keeping the spooky vibe alive. I am wearing currently my vintage spooky shirt that I picked up maybe a couple of Halloweens ago. I picked this up from a spooky market and I absolutely love it. I feel like Dobby is feeling the same way I am today. I just want to crawl into bed but I do want to read. First and foremost, we're gonna go and run some errands just to get that out of the way because I don't want to leave my house later on today. We're gonna come back, I'll show you the books that I have that I am going to attempt to read today, and we're just gonna have a cozy hangout, low energy kind of day, friends. And we're gonna keep the spooky energy alive, just low energy style. All right, friends, let's go run some errands so I can come back and be a hermit at my house. All right, let's go. Dobie, I just got home. You're already sniffing the bag? All right, you caught me. I brought you something. I brought you something, buddy. Are you ready? All right, friends, I am back from running errands and I do not plan on leaving my house for the remainder of the day. I do want to quickly show you what I picked up from Target. I did go with the intention of wanting to get another candle because so far this autumn season I've only gotten one, which is fine, but when I first got it, it was a very beginning, I think it was back in August, and it's a very small one, which I've made it last. I'm actually still burning it now, but I know I just wanted to get at least one more, a little bit of a bigger size, that way I could make it last for the remainder of the fall season. And I ended up picking up this one. It is the cinnamon pumpkin. This smells so good. It smells like a pumpkin patch and it has hints of cinnamon. I cannot wait to burn this later on tonight. So I ended up picking this up, and then I got two snacks. I usually don't get candy, but this time I felt compelled to get some candy because they have the cutest spooky candy. So I ended up getting these fruity gummy fingers. They look kind of tasty. I'm not huge on candy usually, but I'm gonna give these a try and see how I like them. And I also ended up picking up these crunchy clusters, these apple caramel crunchy clusters. These look so yummy, so we're gonna try these later on today. So those are some of the things that I picked up. So with that being said, friends, let's go pick out the, I think it's 3 graphic books that I have on my spooky TBR, and let's decide which one I'm gonna start with first. Off to my spooky TBR. Here we go. Okay, I think they are here. I have 2 spooky TBRs. I have this one and then I have this one right here. But I think my graphic books are over here. Let's see. Ah, yes they are. Okay, so we have this one, and this one. These are all graphic books. All right, friends, so the first one that I have on here is called Fangs. I've had this for some years now and I've yet to read it, and it's quite the short read. I love the little quote on the back. It says, "I want your love," but love is scratched out and it says blood. I believe this one is about a vampire and a werewolf who fall in love, and I heard that this is very quirky and funny little love story. My younger sister actually came and raided my bookshelf and she picked this one up and she read it in one sitting and she really loved it, so I'm trusting her judgment and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love this one as well. I forgot to mention that this is by Andersen and the illustrations are all black and white, which I really love for the vibe of this book, and I also appreciate that this is a hardcover. Now these next 2 I recently picked up. The first one is titled The Harrowing by Kristen Kiesling and Rye Hickman. I seen this at Barnes & Noble's and I just knew I had to get it because once I read the synopsis, I was like, that is something that's totally up my alley. I believe this takes place at a school and it's following our main character who I believe has powers. I don't know if she's considered a witch or she just has powers in general. And there are some people who are after her. I think they want her powers or want to do something to her. It sounds like a thrilling, fun time. I love the illustrations inside as well. Very cozy. The next one I am super excited about. This one is titled Hollow by Shannon Waters, Brandon Boyer-White, and Bernice Nell. This is a contemporary retelling of The Headless Horseman. I believe this follows our main character who just recently moved to Sleepy Hollow. And I believe he ends up finding out that he's somehow connected to, I think, The Headless Horseman? I'm not sure. And so that stirs up some chaos. Some spooky, creepy things start happening in Sleepy Hollow. And he now needs to fight for his life. The illustrations are a little bit brighter on this one, but very cozy, very autumnal. I am super excited for this one. I think I'm going to start off with the book that I'm most excited for, and that is Hollow. And then I think I'm going to transition into Fangs because I think I'll get through this one a lot quicker. So that'll be like a nice little intermission break. And then I'll end my day with The Harrowing. So that is the plan for today, friends. But first and foremost, I need to go make myself something to eat. I haven't eaten breakfast, something low energy, casual. And then after that, I will get to reading and just be a couch potato. Sorry about my AC, you guys. It is quite loud, but it is so hot today and I just had to turn it on. I am loving Hollow so far. I didn't know that our main character is actually a Latina. That is so exciting because it is not often that I come across a spooky book where the main character is a fellow Latina. Her mom is calling her little cute names that in Latina culture we usually say, such as corazón or mija, which means my heart, or mija is kind of like a word of endearment for another person who classifies as a girl or a woman, and you call her mija. So whenever there's a conversation between her and her mom usually calls her oh corazón or mija, and it's so cute. I am so excited. I did not know that this had a main character who is Latina. So far there is a love interest, and it looks like the love interest has a long history in Sleepy Hollow. Like her ancestors rooting way back are sort of connected to the legend of Sleepy Hollow, but so is our main character, and our main character is more so connected to the Headless Horseman. So both of their ancestors have some long-rooted history within the legend of Sleepy Hollow, and it seems like both of them are sort of into each other. I'm loving the fall vibe so far. I'm loving the storyline, and I'm just excited that I get to read a spooky book with a main character who is Latina. All right, back to reading she goes. All right, friends, I just finished Hollow, and of course it did not disappoint. I mean, I already knew I was going to really enjoy this graphic novel. It was quite the nice surprise that this had a main character who is Latine, and I also really enjoyed that this had a very inclusive cast. You had disability inclusion on here, you had LGBTQ inclusion on here. I really appreciated that. This very loosely follows the Sleepy Hollow legend. It is more of a contemporary retelling of the original Sleepy Hollow, but I really enjoyed the take on the legend. I really love that the three friends that the story is based around are have very much different personalities. You wouldn't expect for these three friends to be friends, which I thought was very nice. Just know that in this retelling we get to see the good side of the Headless Horseman, which I thought was very refreshing. So as far as spooky vibes go, I would say that this is maybe, I'm going to be giving it maybe 2.5 pumpkins out of 5 pumpkins, 5 being the spookiest. I think this is maybe like 2.5 pumpkins for me. It wasn't as spooky as I thought it was going to be, but I really enjoyed the fall, very cozy, spooky vibes. Honestly, I don't think any of the books that I'm going to be reading in this vlog are going to be super spooky. I think these are just more comforting, spooky, cozy graphic novels, which is fine with me because that is exactly what I need today for my low energy, low stakes kind of day. So now I think I'm going to take a quick little just break, maybe play with Dobby for a little bit, and then we are going to start Fangs. I am so excited to read this because I have had this for maybe 2 years and I've yet to read it. So this needs to be read ASAP, but I need a little afternoon pick-me-up because I feel like my energy is just falling even more and more down. So I'm gonna go and stimulate my brain for a little bit by playing with my dog, and then after that will be time to read Fangs. Let's go get some brain stimulating. You guys, we have some exciting mail. I can't believe this is here. All right, put this here. I just got some exciting mail. Okay, so I know I said I was going to read Fangs next, but then I ended up taking a nap because it is one of those days, and napping is part of self-care. So I indulged on a little 1-hour nap and I feel so revitalized, a lot more full of energy, and I woke up to a really exciting package. This was sent to me by Red Wheel Publishing, and it is actually a book. So about a year ago, I was asked by one of my good friends if I wanted to contribute a writing piece because she was working on an anthology. Her anthology was being focused on witchcraft and what witchcraft meant to specific people in their own cultural backgrounds, and she asked me if I wanted to contribute a piece, and I of course said yes, because if you know me, if you've known my work for the past few years, a lot of my illustrations, actually many of my illustrations, my writing has been focused on my spiritual journey, and I know I don't talk a lot about that here on YouTube. Yeah, a lot of my writing and my even illustrating practices are very much rooted in encompassing a very magical element, a very, I guess, spiritual element. And so I have a lot of friends in the witchy community. So one of my good friends asked me if I wanted to contribute a writing piece, and I said yes. So that book is officially coming out, I believe, on October 14th, and that is A Confluence of Witches, a modern witches anthology compiled and edited by Casey Sabala. I believe there are about maybe 10 other contributors to this, and I was one of them. I am so excited. I cannot believe this is here. I contributed a small writing piece about what witchcraft means in my own practice, what it has meant to me in my own cultural background as someone who is a detribalized indigenous woman, and how it's important for me to preserve cultural traditions that one I would say would refer to as witchcraft, and how that looks like for me as someone who is a detribalized indigenous woman. So it's full of other contributors. There is so much magic that was weaved into this book, and I am so excited to be among other fellow writers. I believe my story is on page 77, and it is titled Preserving the Witch by Kimberly Rodriguez. You can find this book wherever books are sold. I will leave a link down below if you're interested on purchasing a copy. This just came at a perfect time. It is another magical read that I'm going to add to my fall TBR, and I'm just so excited to read this. So friends, I am feeling great now after my nap. I am going to get back into couch potato mode and pop open my, where are my little gummy worms that I bought? Ah, here they are. fruity gummy fingers. I am going to pop these open and get into reading Fangs. So it's time to get cozy once again. Let's go. This is the epitome of a very oddly weird but cute couple. I am loving this. I'm loving this. Why does this Wolverine dude look like Hosier? He's giving Hosier vibes. Okay friends, I just finished reading Fangs by Sarah Andersen and it was so cute. Yes, this is a love story between a vampire and a werewolf. It's not sort of like a cohesive storyline. It's more so like giving you snippets of different scenarios in their everyday relationship, which I thought was a clever way of portraying their little love story. It was hilarious. It was so funny. It had a lot of cute, funny puns between a vampire and a werewolf, which clever, very cute, very entertaining. And I love that the vampire is like this goth girl and the werewolf literally looks like Hosier who wears flannels and Converse. Oh my gosh, this was so funny. I'm definitely going to be thinking about this story. So I think I'm going to hold off on the harrowing to read until later this afternoon. For now, I think I want to do my cozy craft, my little tea light spooky house that I mentioned earlier in this video that I did for my patrons. So I'm going to print that out, color it in, put it together, and make a little spooky tea light house. Hello friends, it is the next day and I honestly completely forgot to film an outro and let you guys know that I finished reading The Harrowing because me and my sister started watching a movie and the day just escaped me. But I did finish reading The Harrowing yesterday, and you guys, this was such not the story that I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I thought that this was about witches, but it literally has nothing to do with witches. This actually has to do with a group of people that are called the Harrows that have some sort of ability, and their ability is that they can, if they touch someone, they can see something bad that they might do. Our main character and this other group of people who have similar powers as hers, they get contracted to go and sort of touch people to see if they're going to do something bad so they can help prevent whatever bad thing they're gonna do from happening. However, this society that they got contracted to go and touch people, they're doing something shady to the people who are potentially going to do something bad. And once our main character has a sort of vision from the love interest that he's going to do something bad, she has to choose whether she believes that vision or if the bad thing that he's going to do is for a good cause or if he's just a bad person in general. So there is a lot happening, but it just weirdly just worked out very well. Our main character comes from a family who are worm farmers, which is something I've definitely not read in a book before, but I thought that it really worked out well with what the storyline really is about. I will say that this one was a little bit more spooky. I want to say this one was maybe like 3.5 in the spookiness category out of 5. And I didn't give a rating for Fangs, but Fangs, this was not spooky at all. This was more so just cute. I love the atmosphere in this one. So I ended up reading all 3 of them, you guys, yesterday, and it was just so much fun to just spend a day just reading graphic novels as part of my self-care day, as part of my slow lazy girl day. And even though they weren't super spooky, I feel like the ambiance was still very much spooky, very fall and autumnal, very eerie in some parts, quirky. I feel like this is a good balance of books that I just really needed to read yesterday to just relax and to have fun. I think out of all of them, The Harrowing has the most distinctive storyline, something that I've never really read about. And then of course Fangs was very quirky, very funny, and then I really loved this contemporary retelling of The Headless Horseman and Hollow. So they each were very much different, but they still worked out very well. I hope this was a nice reminder for you guys that we don't have to be doing something super big to enjoy ourselves or to be in the season. I feel like this for me was a very nice reminder that I can create a very soothing atmosphere for myself. I don't have to be physically out doing something for me to feel like I am included in the seasonal activities that are happening, and that I can create the seasonal spirit for myself. So I hope you give yourself that opportunity as well, especially if you happen to come across one of those days where you're just feeling a little bit off. It's okay for us to take some time to just enjoy ourselves here at home and have more of a slow day. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I really appreciate you guys. Please remember to like, comment, engage with my videos, as that really goes a long way. Remember that you can create the life that you want because you so deserve it. I will be seeing you in another video very soon. Take care and bye for now.